right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Die Hard Dialogue with Gary V. No, I am not Jesse Cofield. I'm Emerson Lotzia. Apologies, Gary V. I know I'm not as beautiful.
Actually, you're way more beautiful to me because she's a Patriots fan. And so I am thrilled that Jess is not here. What about you? Are you a Patriots fan too? And I'm going to hate you too?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No. I also have a long history of suffering because of how sad my team is. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys, which we'll be able to watch tonight. They'll be able to improve to 0-4 after losing to the Bengals.
One of my greatest football moments was the Jets in '98 beating the Jaguars in New York in a playoff game. So yes, you've had a ton of misery. So I feel a kinship towards you. Our two very handsome guests that we're going to start with from the Packers and Steelers know nothing of what we talk about. These are successful franchises.
Hey, some of us lived through the 70s and 80s.
Aaron,
I know the pain.
Aaron,
I know the pain.
I love that you jumped in. I was just about to say, kind of looking at your visual, I was about to give you a ton of credit because I started in '82 and did my homework on kind of like bought football books at 83 and 84 and saw, obviously you learn very quickly that the Packers are like this special thing because of Lombardi.
Yep.
But to your point, there was a 20-year period there where besides the Magic Man, there wasn't much to be excited about.
Oh, exactly.
And so I give you a lot of credit. On the other hand, the very, very, very handsome young Steelers fan that will be joining us has won a ton in his life, probably hasn't known anything besides Ben. I don't think, Chase, have you even known anything not named Ben Roethlisberger? How old are you?
I'm 27.
Yes.
So you weren't even alive,
you don't even know.
No, by the way, it doesn't matter if he was 58. There has been nothing but winning in Pittsburgh land.
No. When we had Tommy Maddox, we were not winning. I'm going to tell you that right now.
You had that rough transitional period for
Sorry for your 24 months.
Dude, I would take one of those years for crying out loud. Come on, man.
I mean, this is my favorite thing about football, though, real quick. We're talking about Pittsburgh and Green Bay, Wisconsin. These are not LA, New York. This is the problem with, a lot of other sports. This is the best part of the NFL. Here, these are, incredibly smaller market teams than other places, but have had continuous success. So why don't you, Emerson, introduce them? They've already been yapping a little bit and we'll go into this game, which is going to be a fun one. I'm like actively thinking where I'm even going to take my prediction of this game, a challenging game to think through, but why don't we intro away?
Yeah, for sure. Chase Mattson, he's repping the Steelers. That's his squad. We got Aaron Nagler. He is the founder of Cheesehead TV. You could probably tell Chase is a model, everybody, a professional model, has like close to 1 million followers there on social media. So Aaron's going to be repping the Packers here. Also, friendly reminder to everybody, got a DFS contest, right, this week as we do every week. So you need to keep an eye on Gary's social channels. You need to keep an eye on DK's social channels as well. Last week, Cuddy 120, by the way, winning the DFS contest. So took home a Peyton Manning autograph card. This week, the winner of the DFS contest will take home an Earl Campbell rookie card. So that's pretty tight.
Yeah, just for
rookie card.
Everybody trying to figure out why, if you're just tuning in, this is always about two games, one outside game, which is these two wonderful guys, and one, the Jets matchup. As a diehard Jets fan, our matchup is against the Titans. The Titans, for the nerds of football in here, come from the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers, Warren Moon, many others, but Earl Campbell is the legend of legends, in my opinion. And I was sitting with a very special rookie card that I've now put into the pot for the winner of our DFS. Chase, Aaron, I expect you to fill that out as well. And I will talk. Well, usually I go up against a diehard. I think we're having some technical or logistics issues, so I may be yapping myself about it.
Great.
I'll give you a quick preview. Marcus May, one of the only things that has been fun for me in these first three games of the Jets, he is now out for 3 to 4 weeks, joining Jared Davis, joining Lawson, joining Joyner. We were coming in the youngest team to begin with. This is now our fourth significant vet that is now out for significant time. This has been going poorly by all standards. And so I'll go into that. But first, let's talk about something that has fan bases a little bit happier, though the Steelers maybe not as happy. Both teams lost. I'm sorry, that's not true. Aaron Rodgers once again with the big comeback, but the Steelers had a tough loss. Yeah, big win for the Packers. But the Steelers, let's start with Chase on this. The Steelers had one of those losses that you always wonder, is this the end of it all kind of thing? Because the Bengals, I mean, I'm not sure Chase remembers ever. I mean, Chase is 27. Chase, when did you start becoming a fan? 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Help me, roughly.
My whole life, ever since I was born.
Beautiful. So that means Chase, let's just take it on face value, even when he didn't know. Chase has played the Bengals 54 times in his beautiful life and is probably somewhere in the ballpark of 49-5. So he's baffled. I'm going to speak for him. Chase, you were baffled to what, I mean, losing to the Bengals at home, you know, Emerson, you might even have this data on you, maybe not, but I mean, that must have been difficult for you. True?
Yes, it left a bad taste in my mouth, and it still does. Honestly, I was just like, the Bengals, really? Okay.
And not only that, Joe Burrow, to their Chase, you know, Jamar might become a very ugly thing for you for the next 15 years, which would be very uncomfortable.
No, I don't think so. I just think we've had a lot of issues on defense right now. We have a lot of injuries too. So I think there's a lot of like miscommunication as well. So I think that's what's going on too. And he didn't
score a lot of points this week, did you?
No.
So the offense is also in trouble.
Yeah, they may need to bench Ben Roethlisberger. It could be close to time to considering that. Just throwing that out there. I don't really throw downfield too much anymore.
Is that, Chase, is that the problem? Like, I haven't watched. Like, is Ben the problem?
No, Ben's not the problem. I mean, he does get started later in the game now. I don't know if that's just with his age or anything, but he's Ben. Like, he's had 29 injuries over his entire career, and people are like, oh, he's done. He should hang it up. Like, he's washed. It's like, he's still out there throwing the ball. Like last year when we played the Browns, they're like, oh, he's washed up. He threw for 500 yards and 5 TDs.
He's always been a gunslinger, even his rookie year where, you know, I recall very well because we lost a heartbreaker in Pittsburgh in the playoffs where he was throwing picks left and right. Like, he has always gunslung. You always feel like he's throwing it up there. He trusts his receivers, which I genuinely respect. Is it just not working out this year? And also Najee, who I'm very excited about, great kid and a nice ball player, seems to have been off to a kind of slowish start, no?
It's not that he's off to a slow start. It's like our line, I don't think is the greatest because we do have a lot of injuries on our line.
So let's segue. Aaron, with that line, where are you on your defensive line? Is that something you're going to be able to exploit?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see Kenny Clark really came to life against the 49ers. He's had a strong season to begin with all 3 weeks, but Sunday night he was outstanding. And I got to admit, Packers got to be licking their chops. I watched the last couple Steelers games, and I mean, Harris is a talent. And as a Packers fan, I'm really nervous because goodness knows we don't have a long history of shutting guys down. But man, I'm not worried about him getting the ball on a handoff. I am worried about Harris getting the ball in the passing game. I think if the Steelers are smart, just don't even bother running the ball because they can't. And I know ownership said something a couple weeks ago about how it was unacceptable to have so few running attempts, whatever. But if you're the offensive coordinator, you're sitting going, have you seen the line? So to me, as a Packers fan, Harris really concerns me out of the backfield, in space, screen game, option route, whatever. Get the ball in that kid's hands because he is talented.
And his rushing yards prop, by the way, 51.5 yards.
What about
this weekend.
What about receiving? Do you have that prop?
Receiving, I could have it here in a
While you're looking,
second.
Emerson,
We didn't mention that the Packers are, by the way, 7.5 point favorites, and I don't really know if
are they at home?
They're at home. Yep.
That's a good,
yeah.
And let's call a spade a spade.
6.5 now, 6.5, which I'm actually shocked the number is not bigger, but the Steelers whether they win outright.
They have a brand.
Whether they win outright or not, they have not been great at covering. Pittsburgh's 3-7 ATS in their last 10. So just something to consider there too, dudes.
And another thing to consider, and Chase, you can speak to this, you know, a special teams pump block, you know, we're a special teams pump block away from maybe 0-3 Steeler land. This is not an easy game. And, you know, this is going to be very, very fascinating. I mean, a 1-3 Steeler start is a challenge with a better division, right? The Browns, the Ravens, they've already lost a game to the Bengals. And so they're playing the Packers, which means they're playing the Lions. That's good. So the Vikings, I actually think are pretty decent. I mean, obviously, I think you're playing the cream of the crop of the NFC.
Cousins having a phenomenal start to the year, dude.
The Bears and Lions. So luckily you're not playing the NFC West, which is like 4 losses. So what? Aaron, tell us about your team. Obviously, the other Aaron in your world had the golden sombrero. I don't know how he played. I was doing too much work Sunday night. I was so pissed about the Jets. I didn't watch Sunday Night Football. But,
don't blame you.
You know how? Fair enough.
I feel that, man. I feel that. That's why I knew we'd have a connection to our crappy teams.
Aaron, what are we seeing on tell us the pros and the cons of Packers football so far?
Well, right now they're finally kind of after that week 1 bombshell where it was like, we thought we could just show up and run up and down the field or throw up and down the field on the Saints. Oh, that's right. We've actually got to do the work. I think they've gone back to, oh, that's right. Our offense works best when it flows through Aaron Jones. Not that it's going to be hand the ball off a bunch of times, but they do get him utilized both between the tackles and on the edge. I think this is a week where they try to get him outside because, for all the problems the Steelers are having, the defensive tackles are still really, really good. And I don't expect them to be make a ton of hay up the middle there, but running the offense through the backs, both Jones and AJ Dillon, is a big key for them. And then of course there's Devontae Adams, which we know Aaron Rodgers is going to find a way to get him the ball. Doesn't matter if he's triple covered. They're going to get him the football. But they're finding their stride on offense. You knew that would happen. The defense is always the question mark in Green Bay. Much better performance on Sunday night, though there's still things you can nitpick. I tell you what, this is a game I'm going in on Sunday thinking, not only do I expect to take the over on this game, because I think, to Chase's point earlier, Ben can still sling it. And even if they get down, he's going to be slinging it. And I do think they're going to move the ball and they're going to score some points. To me, it comes down to turnovers. And I do think the Packers will get a turnover or two just because Ben's been so prone early in the season so far. And when that happens, Aaron Rodgers makes hay. He makes you pay.
You have that great corner from Louisville, right? What's his name?
Oh, Jair Alexander is the cream of the crop. He's amazing.
Cream of the crop. He's so good.
And Packers on the opposite end. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, we got TJ coming back this week too, so we'll have more pass.
I was going to ask Chase, is that for sure? Have they just said he's going to play?
So they kept him out last week, so now he's coming back this week for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean not nice for us, but nice
nice for us.
Getting paid a lot of money now. But Packers on the opposite end. Remember, I said Pittsburgh 3-7 ATS. Packers opposite end of that, 5-2 ATS in their last 7 overall here. And Gary, you were asking earlier about Harris's receiving yards prep. That's or prop. That's not up yet. Only a few guys up in this game. So Adams, as you guys mentioned, receiving prop 89.5 yards, reception 7.5, and then Rodgers passing touchdowns 1.5.
What about Ben Roethlisberger?
Hammer the over on the Rodgers touchdowns. Hammer it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by that. Talk to me about Roethlisberger turnovers. Is there a prop on that?
I am no Big Ben prop yet, actually, right now in the DK Sportsbook.
Nope. That I like a lot. I'm a little bit worried about, just if that's a half or even if it's 1, I'm for some reason just very bullish on that. I also agree with Aaron on the over. Let's go to Chase. What is your score prediction, my man?
Score prediction? Oh man. Well, Ben has to get started early. He can't wait until the quarter to start slinging the ball. Score prediction.
And just to remind you, Chase, you do not have to pick your own team. I know that's weird,
but you need to be true to yourself.
I've not predicted a Jets win yet on this show.
Steelers are going to win 27-24. Watch.
Okay, 27-24 from Chase. Aaron, you don't seem concerned there by Chase's confidence.
I don't know about. It's not a question of being concerned, but it's like I just don't see how this game plays out any other way than the Packers get up early, the Steelers come storming back, and then Ben makes a fatal mistake and turns the ball over. I would take this at like 34-27 Packers. That's right.
Oh, I don't know if Steelers win this thing, but they're plus 140 to score first, if that tickles anybody's fancy.
do. And what's interesting about that is that the Packers have traditionally under LaFleur almost always deferred, but they switched that up last week and they got a score. It was only a field goal, but they did score first. And it's something they've been talking about a lot because they have been kind of stagnant so far this season, the first couple of games on offense. So I do wonder if that's going to become the new norm. them taking the ball rather than deferring, which would be, I think they're going to march down the field and score.
Interesting. I actually, and I'm sorry, Chase, this is probably subconscious
AFC stuff, right?
AFC bias, but I think this is going to be a night where people are going to start yapping a little bit in Pittsburgh. I have a feeling this one isn't going to be good. I actually
wanting Aaron Rodgers to come over to Pittsburgh, and it's just like, what the heck? We play y'all this week. What do you guys?
Yeah, I think this one's going. I think this one's going to be ugly. Actually, I do. I think
like low scoring ugly, high scoring ugly.
Ugly for my friends in Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be 37-16.
Dang, Gary.
Okay.
Like
Wrap it up.
I just do think that's going to be the case. Now listen, I will say this, just as I'm fully committing to it, a little weird things popped in my head, which is I've got to give him credit. Tomlin has pulled out some games through the years where I thought shit was not going in the right direction, and out of nowhere, they've played a really good ball game. And so that did just pop in my head.
Couldn't agree more. He's the one thing that worries me. He's the one aspect of the Steelers that worries me.
At 12:01, not even at 12, at 12:01, not 11:59, at 12:01. I remember that, but I'm going to go here. I'm still going 37-16. I think there's a couple of teams that I think are wrapping it up, starting the momentum in the other direction. And those two teams are the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. I think these two clubs are going to have a season that's going to be intriguing, challenging, and rethinking and transitional years. And I think that was the thought I had coming into this year. And I feel confident that there's something brewing 3 weeks in with that hypothesis.
Each of the Packers' last 4 home games, you're expecting high scoring, have gone over. Last 4 home games have gone over. Another interesting one, you want them to go over 3.5 touchdowns, plus 145 odds on the DK Sportsbook there.
Yeah, I'm going to wait to see what the Jets props and are before I go into my official booster. I don't see anything here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry. To Aaron's point, Aaron, are you pumped that Aaron Rodgers is named Aaron? Like, do you think is that like fun for you in any way?
It can be very annoying at times though, when you're not even my favorite Aaron with the Packers now, because now I'm number 3. It's not even just Aaron Rodgers. Now we've got Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. So whenever Aaron Nagler gets mentioned, it's like, yeah, he also ran Aaron, but it's nice. It's nice having him have the same name as me, and that's fun and everything, but I'm not gonna be broken up when it's Jordan Love.
Listen, we'll go figure, of course, 20 years of back to back, like you're probably licking your chops and see.
Let me tell you, man, you lived through Randy Wright and David Whitehurst. Like, I'm owed. Okay. I feel like I'm owed. I got Brett and Aaron. I feel good. Now I feel like the universe is balanced out. So whatever happens with Jordan,
I'll be very honest with you. There are very few historical reference points of 40 years, 35 years of good quarterback play. Nope. I'm not sure you're owed. This is like wild.
No. I'm not owed now. I was owed after Randy Wright and that Jim Zorns of the world, and the universe gave me these guys.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention that your age. How old were you when Brett Favre took his first snap?
Oh man, how old was I? I was in I want to say.
How old are you now?
90s. I'm 48 now. So
brother, you more than half your let's
I'm not complaining.
I'm
not complaining.
Chase, don't even get in here. Chase, don't even get in here.
Chase has no standing.
You've only had Ben Roethlisberger. Only.
But he went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers?
Yep. Chase reminds me of those people I get in my Twitter mentions who like Aaron Rodgers is a god, he can do no wrong, who only have ever known the end of Favre into Aaron Rodgers. But like they couldn't tell you anything about the 70s and 80s. And it's like, you don't understand how much I appreciate what's happening now because of what I went through, like under Coach Lindy Infante and Coach Bart Starr and Forrest Gregg.
The last 3 years, the last 2 years, the last 3 years of Jets football, just the 3, forget about this death decade I'm living through, are more terrible seasons. The last 3 Jets seasons are the 3 worst seasons of our 3 teams combined over the last 30 years.
That's true.
So let there be no confusion.
Wait, are you in on Salah? Are you in on Salah?
Of course, because we're 30 seconds in.
I wish the Jags had him. Urban Meyer looks
love him
lost
as a
right
coach.
now.
Yeah, Urban
I really
Meyer,
like him.
I really believed, and I don't want to rub it in, Emerson, but I really believed that Urban was going to be one and done. I completely had him in Saban land. I really didn't like it at all. And I think it's not going to work out.
I know. I don't either. I expect him to be at USC here probably by like week 12 or something. But while we're on the topic of the Jets, yes, we got to transition.
Aaron,
we got to bring in another guest. Hey, yeah, guys, real quick before you take out, how can people follow you like on social media? Aaron.
Just at Aaron Nagler on Twitter. I'm really easy to find.
All right, cool. Chase.
I'm just at Chase Mattson on every single platform. So really easy.
Love that. Love that. All right, dudes. Rock and roll, man. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
We got a third guest coming in. And this dude can sing. He can rock your face off. And he also used to play football back in the day. Mitchell Tenpenny, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thank y'all for having me. This is awesome.
Mitchell, it's great to have you. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your fandom? How long have you been a fan? How diehard do you go?
I'm as diehard as it gets. Born and raised in Nashville. I've had season tickets since, we were a team in 99 at Adelphia Coliseum. Went all the way to Memphis to watch them play in Vanderbilt when they were the Tennessee Oilers. So I'm a diehard fan, been here from the beginning.
I love it, man. And what is your best moment and what is your worst moment? I think I can probably guess them, but go ahead.
Music City Miracle. I was there. I dropped all of my chicken fingers over everybody that was below me. Worst moment, probably the Vince Young days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You were so happy to be in the Super Bowl that tackle at the 1 yard line isn't your worst?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it was the first time we were the Titans and we went to the Super Bowl. So when I look back on it as I mature, that's such an awesome thing to have gotten there so quickly.
Not only that, it was the first time you guys were in the Super Bowl, period. The Oilers did not make a Super Bowl.
Yeah. But yes, I will retract that and go back. Yes. I mean, the 1 yard line.
And Mitchell, Emerson, getting into like some fun stuff here. I don't know if people know this. Fun fact, the New York Jets started off as the New York Titans. That is their official first name. And so one of my favorite Jets moments of all time actually happened at my good friend Mitchell here's expense. Ironically segueing from the conversation we just had, the Favre Jets before he got hurt went into the 10-0 Kerry Collins Titans and won 31-0 or so. We just completely beat the living shit out of them. And believe it or not, the Jets went to 2 AFC championship games in that a few years later in 2010-11. And that after beating the 10-0 Titans, during that game when it was complete domination, again 31-3, 31-7, some 34-7, something like that, was probably the only time in my Jets fandom, going to 3 AFC championship games, 98, 10, 2010, and 11, that I thought we had a shot. That's how good that game was. But I don't believe that is going to happen this week, especially with our extra injury. Mitchell, tell us the strengths and weaknesses 3 weeks in of your team.
Well, obviously our weakness right now is, left side, O-line. As far as injuries, we got Lawan Saffold over there still banged up. And I'm nervous because you can tell Tannehill's, he can only take so much from his blind side, even with Julio. And now Julio and, AJ are both, I don't know what their status is. AJ's hamstrings hurt. Julio just wasn't playing the end of the game. So our offense, we have everything we need, but I think a lot of our boys have gotten a little Hollywood on us and they're not playing as tough as they are on that blind side. So we got to get our line back. And then that'll open up obviously for AJ and for Julio. But I mean, Derek's just, again, being the workhorse for this team. And so
what about defensively?
I mean, we need cornerbacks. We need cornerbacks. We need cornerbacks bad. I do like the Bud Dupree.
What about Malcolm Butler? You let him go.
Well, I mean,
I know.
It was, yeah.
No, I mean, I'm up here in Boston. I'm just giving you crap.
Yeah. I mean, that was his greatest game. That was it. And then he came to here and did whatever, pretty much nothing.
He got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. But yeah, I mean, I like the Bud Dupree pickup. I like the leadership that we have there. It takes a leader there. But we got some cats that just need to understand that it's part of being a team. Like you can see them yelling at each other on the sides a lot. And I think
is that right? I would think Vrabel's running a tighter ship. And I know unfortunately, your really exciting young rookie defensive lineman broke his ankle.
Yes.
Rashad Weaver. I
Yeah,
know that
Weaver.
because my brother AJ and I have a sports representation business, and we rep Mr. Weaver, who I love, and he's going to be a great player for you. It was really unfortunate with his injury. He had a crazy preseason and was showing a lot of young promise. Listen, good news.
Yeah.
We're worried about everything up here.
Sure. Yes.
You know,
I
this,
understand.
you know, if you're
I
banged
understand.
up, if you're banged up and a little worried, this game can get you right on the back track real fast. I mean, we're hurting. Go ahead, my man, Emerson.
I was going to say, with everyone so banged up, there are a couple props that I know people will keep an eye on the DK Sportsbook. And Mitchell, let me know how you feel. I mean, you have Henry, his rushing yards prop 109.5. Tannehill, his passing yard prop 220.5. Which one would you feel more comfortable taking the over on there? Probably Derrick Henry, right?
I'm taking Derrick because, especially just the way he plays. I mean, he just runs you down. He beats you up. And last week he actually got started in the first half when it's been kind of his story to, go in the locker room and come out and dominate. But, we had a weird game against the Cardinals, but we're finding ways to win games. These last two, it's you asked me to be picky. I'm being picky. I think we have a great team, an incredible coach, and I love where our quarterback stands. I do. We just gotta, we gotta hone in the stuff that, at the end of the game, the close ones will win.
Emerson, what's the line of this game?
Yeah, so you've got Jets.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Titans are 7-point favorites, touchdown favorite on the road. So you got the Jets that are the underdogs once again. Total on this one, 45, one of the lowest on the Sunday slate, Gary.
Yeah, I don't listen. Elijah Moore, I don't think is practicing, still in concussion protocol. Marcus May is now out. I mean, I think last week, I don't know if you have this data, Emerson, I think last week I predicted 27-7 Broncos. It was 23-0. So I've got a little read on my team right now.
By the way, this was 7.5 about an hour ago, and now it's already down to like 7.
Yeah, I think, I think I don't have how's your pass rush?
Not great. We had a couple, every now and then at the end of the games when they're trying different stuff.
Who'd you play last week?
A few. Last week was Indianapolis.
Right. In Indy, right?
It was in Indy. No. It was at it was in Indy. Sorry.
And what was do we know what the final of that was, Emerson, or do you remember off the top of your head, Mitchell?
Yeah, so I got it right here. It was 25-16 Titans winning that one at home.
Oh no, we were at home. We were on the road. I apologize. It's hard to remember. Yeah.
No worries, brother. And what was the week 2 game?
Week 2, shoot. We lost the we beat Seattle at night.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a big one. 33-30. Yep, 33-30 out there out west.
It was overtime game. And also we don't have a kicker. Again, story of our lives. So
I know.
He did win the game. I mean, he won the game with that long. I think it was like a 43 or something like that. And so we're going in each week by week, not knowing what we have there. So
yeah, I mean, look, for some reason, I think the Jets will do something this week, show some sort of life. But actually, I'll let my guest here. Mitchell, what's your official prediction here?
I mean, I'll take the 7.5 would have scared me.
So what do you got for a score? What do you got for the score?
Shoot, man. I mean, I would go 24. I'd go 24-10, something like that. I don't see us going too crazy. I think it might be a pretty low scoring game. I would take the under, honestly, at 45 personally, because Titans tend to do that. So, I mean, you sit here and talk about the Jets, but the Titans, I bet they actually have a good game against us. Teams seem to do that, and then we just squeak by barely as my blood pressure goes up.
I think the under is probably the lane here, Gary, just mainly because, and no offense to you, the Jets offense has been kind of so mistake prone and listless. But I would expect it to be mostly a ground attack for Tennessee. Mitchell, I don't even know how you find the time to watch these games. Do you get to catch a lot of them? Because I know you just started the To Us It Did tour last week, man.
Yeah.
You couldn't remember if you were home or not. You're so busy.
Well, that's because I mean, we have season tickets and I'm always like either giving them up. I haven't been able to go to a game this year, so it's like hard to remember, but I do watch them. I have my phone. I watch a lot of games on my phone, or if we do get home on a Sunday, a little bit later, I'll be able to watch. But I mean, Titans are everything to me. I wait for football season every year.
I love it.
So.
I love you for that, brother. I'm the same way. I'm gonna go 24-9.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because I'm a hair more pessimistic than my friend here.
one less.
I think we're in the ballpark. I think, the Jets defense has been holding on-ish, all things considering. That being said, this Marcus May blow might be the final blow because we at least had one real player. Our defensive line is actually very strong.
Yeah.
And actually that's the one variable that I'm trying to figure out. And I also think that, our defensive line has been very, very strong. Quinnen Williams, John Franklin Myers.
Yeah,
They've got a lot going on there. Fuakasi, like the defensive line's been really good. We've got CJ Mosley at the second level. He's been really good. And May was the really good senior secondary guy. And so we kind of had one guy in each level that kind of has kept them around-ish. If they're giving up a 23 or this and that, but a lot of that is like, being on the field the whole time, but I just don't, the offense just gives you nothing to believe in. That being said, Mitchell sounds like a very knowledgeable fan, and his concern about the defensive line, if they can do what they did against the Patriots, where they were winning the trenches, we threw 4 picks.
Yeah.
It could get a little more interesting, but I'm going to go with 24-9. What about,
I feel that.
What about Zach? Give me some props, because I know I got to get out of here. I got a little bit of time to schedule.
Yeah.
I got to boost a prop. Give me what props do we have with the Jets?
Okay. So you have Wilson, 226.5 passing yards. By the way, Jets under 1.5 touchdowns scored. You can get plus money, plus 130 right now. And the ones that we could boost here, Packers over 3.5 touchdowns, Steelers scoring first, Henry over 109.5 rushing yards, and Jets under 1.5 touchdowns.
I'm going to go with the Aaron Rodgers plus 1.5 over 1.5 touchdowns. Is that a prop or no?
No, it says Packers over 3.5. Well, I guess it is. Yes, it is. So we do have Aaron Rodgers over 1.5.
I'm doing that. That's what I'm going to boost this week.
All right.
Mitchell, thank you so much for being on the show, brother.
And this is a blast for me. Thank you guys. All the best to y'all.
Yeah, you too, my
man.
man.
Mitchell, just real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Gary, because I know
go ahead.
I knew early in September you released Midtown Diaries. So my guess is that strategy is you got that, you dropped the album. That way you can watch more football. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. We had to get everything out of the way to clear up the schedule for the Titans, man.
Yeah, well,
continued success, brother. We're cheering for you.
Yeah, keep kicking ass.
We're cheering for your career. We're not cheering for you this Sunday. I'm not. I can't speak for Emerson, but we wish you well, brother. Emerson,
I know I'm a Jaguars fan, so I low key hate you, Mitchell, especially for the 99 season where the only 3 losses for Jacksonville were all to the stinking Titans. So get out of here. You can log off now.
Tighten up, y'all. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah, Emerson, you're the man, dude.
Emerson, you're tonight, as of this filming. I know people watch it tomorrow and things of that nature. Any hot take on tonight's game?
Yeah, I definitely expect Trevor Lawrence to throw a couple interceptions. I do not expect much out of the Jaguars tonight. They are averaging 18 points a game. Although some people are like, it's a trap game for Cincinnati here at home, but the Jags offense just is not chugging along right now. And they've lost 18 in a row dating back to week 2 of last season. I have zero confidence in this team. Zero.
It's a great way to end it. Somebody more upset than me. Thanks for
I'm
jumping
miserable.
in this week, man. Thanks for jumping in. Talk to you.
No worries. And I need everyone watching right now to go follow you on Twitter, on any social media channel out there, and also DK Social, because everyone needs to know where the DFS contest is that they can enter to try to win the Earl Campbell rookie card. That's what everyone needs to do right now.
All right. Cheers to that, brother. Talk to you soon.
Later, dude.
Bye, everyone.